First of all, I want to thank the EU government for inviting me to this World Government Summit. I think it's an excellent platform that has been created by the UAE for leaders across the world, governments, private sector, NGOs, civil society to engage on very crucial and important global issues. The diplomatic relations between the UAE and Dominica has grown dramatically over the years. We have a resident ambassador in the UAE as a sign of our appreciation of the relationship. We have cooperation in many areas: renewable energy, healthcare, education and training, and other fields. And so we appreciate the relationship. We see it growing from strength to strength, deepening in areas and also expanding in new areas. On the international scene, in terms of our cooperation at the United Nations, we have very good coordination and collaboration on global issues, climate change. The UAE has been at the forefront of advocating on our behalf, Dominica's behalf, and indeed on the behalf of the entire Caribbean. So we lean on the UAE quite a bit on many areas. So we appreciate the leadership of the UAE at all levels, at the highest level, and also at administrative levels. So we would rate the relations between the UAE and Dominica as being excellent. 2025, I think we're continuing to invest in infrastructure, especially infrastructure that can withstand the impact of climate change, building greater resilience within our infrastructure. We're also focusing on the digitization of our country, trying to follow what has happened here in the UAE, the dramatic transformation by the use of technology and innovation. So we are in fact following in the footsteps of the UAE, and we're also getting some support from them in terms of technical support, capacity building support for us to be able to implement our digital transformation project. Of course, agriculture remains a very important part of our economy to ensure, one, food security for our citizens and residents, but also as a foreign exchange earner. Then we also have healthcare, continuing investment in healthcare, because healthcare is evolving. The more you invest, the more you have to keep investing to ensure that your citizens and visitors to your country have the best medical care possible. Then you also have the area of education, invest in education, ensuring that our students or children have access to technology, can also innovate by using technology, and to ensure as far as possible there is access. And of course, the investment in tourism, hotel construction, airports, seaports, improving on infrastructure, ensuring that we are at a point where we can take advantage of the many opportunities which the world currently offers.
Talking about investments, what are your key initiatives to attract international investors?
Well, we have a very generous fiscal incentive package in terms of tax-free, and also there are no limitations or restrictions on the repatriation of your profits. We are a safe country. We adhere to the rule of law. We have a constitution that is respected and protects both domestic and foreign investors. And so it's very safe. We have a highly educated population. Our literacy rate is about 98%. So in terms of access to trade and qualified workforce, we can provide this. And of course, we are politically stable. And so we have a very conducive environment for investments and for investors to come in. And of course, we can always tailor the fiscal incentives license based on the investment that the person is making. So we're very open and transparent with regards to engaging investors. And of course, there are opportunities in renewable energy. There are opportunities in investment in public infrastructure, roads and bridges and airports and seaports. There are also opportunities for renewable energy, agriculture, banking, the financial services. So there's a wide range of opportunities for investors. And of course, the Caribbean Dominica is a place to invest. We have excellent relations with the government of the UAE. Your investment as an Emirati is protected in Dominica. And of course, based on the relationship and the agreements that we have with the UAE, there's this mutual understanding of the responsibility of each of us to protect the investment of our respective citizens in our countries. As you know, climate change is an existential threat. It's a major threat confronting countries like Dominica. And recognizing that the developed world is not fulfilling its obligation and its commitment to us in terms of providing us with the financing that's required to mitigate against the impact of climate change, we've had to do it on our own. In 2017, we were impacted by a major hurricane with 226% of our GDP affected. Agriculture was wiped out. Tourism was dramatically affected. 90% of the homes were either destroyed or damaged completely. And so we decided, recognizing that the developed world is not taking responsibility, we had to do things on our own. And we believe by building resilience in our economy, we can withstand the impact of climate change. And so we declared a vision of being the world's first climate resilient country. Now, this is an extraordinarily ambitious undertaking for a small nation, but we are committed to it. And I believe that since 2017, we have made great strides in building a resilience within our economy, ensuring that our citizens have resilient homes that can withstand a Category 5 hurricane, ensuring that our health system is resilient, that if we're impacted, we can recover in a very short period of time, ensuring that our schools, that our children have the access to the infrastructure, to technology in the event that we're affected. Agriculture, looking at what we grow, the type of crops we grow, the type of crops that have an impact on, that have resistance and resilience towards natural disasters. Even our fiscal policies, our tax regime, what do we do to ensure that if there's a shock in our system, that we can rebound from it. There's a buffer. And so it is a very, very ambitious project, but very important. And my suggestion to developing countries like ourselves, including developed countries, there's a need for each of us to have our own national resilience plan. Because the reality is, the atmosphere is getting hotter, and therefore you're going to have more frequent and more ferocious storms, whether cyclones or hurricanes or major flooding or extreme heat. And so countries must prepare for that. And in our view, the only way you can prepare for this is by building resilience, having a strategy to build resilience and a plan to implement that strategy. And so we're making good progress in terms of renewable energy, relying more on geothermal and hydro to generate our energy, protecting both our seascape and our landscape, our marine life and our forests, to ensure that all of our society can benefit. An important aspect of this is to ensure that the most vulnerable among us is accounted for. And so it's important for us to be able to map the nation, the country, and to know where every citizen resides or under what circumstance, and to seek to improve on their circumstance and to let them be resilient. Because you can have resilience at the national level in terms of the government's strategy, the government's program, the government's policies. But if the citizens are not part of this, then it's be of no value to the country. Because a chain is as strong as its weakest link. And if you have vulnerable populations that are not provided for, then your resilience plan will be very concerning and not as foolproof or as close to being foolproof as you would like it to be. Thank you. My pleasure. And again, it's wonderful being here in Dubai, the UAE. The conference has been going very, very well. I think it's an important platform for countries like ours to be able to voice our views, and to interact and to share best practices with other countries and the private sector and NGOs. And I want to again commend, congratulate and thank the government of the UAE for this World Government Summit. And I pray to God that it will continue to be successful.